What you doing, Diggletdreamers? Mather's back with some more CDL content. This is week 4, battle number 3, but week 4 of the CDL. As you may know, I had to skip my week 2 match. Basically hasn't happened yet. That should be happening within the next couple weeks, though. So hopefully I have that out for you. But this is my week 4 match versus Marenoc and the Lexington Larvitar. Marenoc, if you don't know, old friend of the channel. He's been featured on the channel many times, and he's doing really cool stuff on his channel now. It's not really Pokemon related, it's more the technology stuff. But if you want to check that out. You can find a link to his stuff down below. But wait, let's get into the battle. So if you're not interested in watching me kind of give my explanations, pausing and playing this replay for the next like 10-15 minutes, then I totally understand. You can check out the link down below. I'll link the replay so you can watch it on your own time if you're so interested. But I'm going to kind of go over what my thought process was, what I thought his thought process might be, that kind of thing. So as you can see, I'm bringing my Rhyperior, Vikavolt, Espeon, Toxicroak, Lycanroc, and Mandibuzz. If you want to know more about what my thought process was with making this team, there's a link at the top right of the screen that you can go follow that, and it'll bring you to my team builder video. And yeah, so he ended up bringing Metagross, Serena, Roserade, Glalie, Seismitoad, and Salazzle. So definitely a lot of the threats that I was very worried about. I see 3 Pokemon that can basically just one-shot Rhyperior with their stab, obviously. Metagross is a big threat, very strong offensive Pokemon. And the Glalie too actually is such a huge threat. So his team is basically stacked with these Pokemon that are just really scary. But on the bright side, I do have my Vikavolt, which is going to be putting in a lot of work versus his team. Does not really switch into it very well. I obviously I'm EV'd to outspeed a non-speed invested Seismitoad, so I can hit that with an Energy Ball, and plus Seismitoad's not really going to be doing much to me anyway. Espeon with the Scarf is going to be doing great. It's got Shadow Ball for the Metagross, and of course the Psychic move is going to be able to knock out his 2 big poison types. Rhyperior, while it doesn't like taking on most of his team members, does take a bunch of hits. Like even a Hidden Power Grass from a Salazzle, I'll be able to take that, but if I'm at full, I'll only take like half, and I can knock it out with an Earthquake, no problem. But I can also switch into any of its stab moves, and so on and so forth. My Mandibuzz takes on a lot of his team members, basically takes on everything fairly well except for the Glalie. And then I do have my priority on Toxicroak and Lycanroc, which can do a lot of damage. Accelerock obviously having a pretty good chance to KO Salazzle from full. Well, maybe not a pretty good chance, but at least a chance. And okay, so my thought process with this was like, I don't know, I want to get my Stealth Rock up, but he has so many Pokemon he could lead with to counter that. Not to mention his Rapid Spinner, which is Serena. So I felt like that probably wasn't a good idea. So I decided to lead with Vikavolt because that puts a lot of work in versus his team. Unless he was going to lead something like Salazzle, I could probably knock something out. And of course that does end up working out for me. He leads Serena, probably guessing that I would lead the Rhyperior to try to get the rocks up. But now I'm in. All I need to do is basically just click Bug Buzz, and something is going to take a big chunk of damage. So he decides to just stay in, knock me off, knocks off my Life Orb, which isn't that bad because now I don't have to take damage from it. And I just knock out his Serena, no problem. So that's Rapid Spinner gone, one of his 2 grass types gone. Things are looking better for Rhyperior already. Now I'm going to try to slow this down just a little bit. I don't want Vikavolt to take a Sludge Bomb from Roserade, so I'm going to go into Mandibuzz. I know Mandibuzz is going to be able to take on a lot of his team, and I didn't think of it specifically for Roserade, but I don't really want to switch in Rhyperior just in case he does go for the cheeky grass type move. But I do end up taking the Sludge Bomb very well, no poison, so that works out pretty well for me. I'm just going to go for a Roost here as he Sludge Bombs again, and that'll get me up to a pretty good amount. And now I feel like he's probably going to switch out, knowing that I can just Roost off any damage he's going to do. So I do end up going for the Foul Play, which gives me a nice chip off on his Glalie. Would have been nice if he had been Mega Evolved already, probably would have done more damage. But I definitely don't want Mandibuzz in here, so I go Toxicroak, because at this point I'm like, okay, I realized I basically don't have a switch into this Glalie. So I'm like, okay, who do I not really need that much? And Toxicroak was looking like a pretty expendable member right now. I could outspeed the Metagross, hit it with a Shadow Ball, Vacuum Wave this Glalie, and that was basically it. Like, Sludge Wave could do something to Roserade, and, you know, like, at that point, like, if I'm relying on the Sludge Waving the Roserade, it's probably not going to work out, because he's got, like, Hit Power Fire, most likely. And, so I throw out the Toxicroak just to see what he wants to do, and he's been going for the Super Fang. I'm like, okay, I obviously live that, just that's the way the move works. So I decided just to go for a Vacuum Wave, because I figured he's got Earthquake or something, but he just goes for a Taunt. So it prevents me from going to Swords Dance or Nasty Plot, I'm guessing. But I'm just going to keep going for Vacuum Wave, because the more damage I can get off on this thing, the better. The weaker I can get it, as he just has to go for a Spike there, which is, you know, not too bad. I got a couple Pokemon that don't obviously are floating, but he does make a good Roserade play there, taking the Vacuum Wave with ease. And I think, okay, I have my Mandibuzz still, so I can come in without having to worry about just sacrificing my Toxicroak for no reason. But he goes for the Sludge Bomb, so I could have stayed in and maybe done something, but anyway. I go for the Roost as Salazzle comes in, and okay, so this is a big turn. I don't want this Salazzle to get a Nasty Plot going, because that could be really problematic. Like, if it's got Sludge Wave, Fire Blast, Hidden Power Grass, that could basically destroy me. So I guess I did have Lycanroc in the back, but I really wanted to keep Mandibuzz around because it can beat things like Seismitoad, Metagross, and as has already been shown, it can be Roserade as well. So I decided, rather than letting him get up a free Nasty Plot, as much as I do want to keep Mandibuzz, it's more threatening that he would go for a Nasty Plot and just become too much of a problem. So I decided to stay in and go for the Foul Play, as he actually doubles into Metagross. So I thought maybe he thought I was gonna go Rhyperior or something. I don't actually know what his plan was there, but of course the Foul Play does almost knock him out, and I have enough Speed EVs to outspeed a Jolly Metagross, so I outspeed him and knock him out, and that's probably his biggest offensive threat. One of his biggest offensive threats aside from Salazzle off the field. So I have a pretty good switch into Seismitoad. I go Vikavolt. I can obviously take a Scald fairly well. Earthquake, I dodge it, and I outspeed and get hit with an Energy Ball. So he does indeed go for the Earthquake. I think trying to catch my Toxicroak there, because he would have. I mean, that makes sense. Like, I switched my Dry Skin Pokemon in on his Water type, and he tried to catch that with the Earthquake. But I had Vikavolt, and I wasn't gonna risk my Toxicroak for no reason. And so he goes for the Protect. So I show the Energy Ball, so he knows I have it now. So I decided to go for a Bug Buzz instead, and he just sacks his Glalie. Okay, no problem. Another big offensive threat. But now the Salazzle is back in, and again I'm in that position where I can't let this thing set up for free. So I decided to just go for the Thunderbolt, and he just knocks me out with a Flamethrower. So that's Vikavolt gone. But this thing has not set up. It's now in a good position to get Revenge KO. Oh wait, not yet. So I go right here. I know I can take any hit, as he decides to switch out. Go Seismitoad, and I double into my Mandibuzz, predicting him to go Seismitoad. So now I go for the Toxic, as he actually also reveals the Toxic. So we trade Toxics, but at this point, I don't need Mandibuzz as much. Like, I have Espeon can basically Scarf KO these two. Unless his Salazzle ends up being Scarf, that's the only way I would outspeed. But a Scarf Roserade I would outspeed, because I'm also Scarf. And I just need to get some damage off on Seismitoad, and then Psychic has a pretty good chance of just sweeping, not to mention having Lycanroc there to potentially pick off the Salazzle. So, get my Toxic off. I'm just going to keep going for some foul plays here, try to get as much damage off on the Seismitoad as I can before my Mandibuzz goes down. So I take the Scald pretty well. I mean, we're not doing too much damage here, but the Toxic racking up, and Seismitoad doesn't have recovery outside of leftovers, so damage is there to stay. I could always Roost if I wanted to, but he definitely doesn't want to switch in either of his two remaining offensive things in on a foul play. Actually, he does decide to do that here, as he maybe thought I was going to go for a Roost there, but I'm just going for it with Mandibuzz at this point, and he's going to be able to knock me out with a Sludge Bomb. But now it is time for Espeon to come in with the Scarf. The Seismitoad is at a point where it may not even take one, let alone taking two on the switch. So sacks the Roserade. Now goes Seismitoad. At this point, because I actually have Psyshock, not Psychic, I don't know why I've been saying Psychic, but I wasn't entirely confident about my Espeon's ability to knock this thing out, and I didn't want to die to an Earthquake and then lose to Salazzle somehow. So I decided to just take the chance this time, go into Toxicroak, but he does end up going for the Earthquake, so unfortunately Toxicroak does go down. But now I'm in a pretty good spot. I decided to go Rhyperior, because my Rhyperior can take a Scald at the range it's at right now, and then hit him back with the Earthquake, as he just decides to go for Earthquake there. And I take out the Seismitoad, so now it's down to just Salazzle, and I know now, because my Rhyperior is in, he cannot go for Nasty Plot, because I'm going to click Earthquake no matter what. So he's got to knock me out here, and he does reveal the hidden power, which I believe is Grass. So I could basically go either one of these Pokemon here. I decided to go Lycanroc, because I can hit him with Accelerock. Lycanroc hasn't seen the field yet, so why not? Does not quite knock him out, as he goes for another hidden power, but I live that one, so that is the game. Just go for Accelerock one more time, finish off the Salazzle, and Lycanroc gets the victory screen once again. So I did find out after the game that his Salazzle was Focus Sash. Pretty scary. If I had gone into Espeon instead, yeah, I don't know. I think it probably would have still worked out, because he couldn't, even with a nasty, if he nasty plots on the Psyshock, then I bring him down to Sash, and I still outspeed him on the following turn, so we'd have to go for a move that knocks me out, and I don't think a Sludge Wave from non-boosted Salazzle would knock out my Espeon, so I think it was pretty much over at that point, but that was definitely a really scary thing to know, that it was Focus Sash, and that could have destroyed me at some point. So, like, if he had been able to get up a Nasty Plot without me breaking that Focus Sash, then that would have been really, really scary. But anyway, got the victory. So we'll move on to the next week, and I'll see you guys next Sunday with more CDL content. Make sure to check out Marenoc, and don't forget to like and subscribe for the content that you enjoy, if you do. Obviously don't like it if you don't enjoy it. Anyway, see you next time. Peace out. Goodbye.